Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. Today I've decided to prepare a free hit draft for the upcoming Game Week 15. I think if you still have this chip, this is one of the last times where it makes sense to use it because yes, you can use it around 16, 17 because you have 5 free transfers, but there is a nice fixture run from 16, especially going for Arsenal players. So, and with 5 transfers, you can readjust your team pretty quickly. And if you want, you can get rid of some players and so on and so on. But now you can basically stack up for 15 and lock it in. The thing here is that there are going to be rotations and it's very hard to predict them. The way we are going to approach it is not only we're going to build a strong 11, but I will have 1 or 2 solid bench options because now it's time to have this solidity in your team, because if you have used it in 11 or 12 or 13 or whenever, there wasn't such a rotation. But now going into 15, after game week 13, after game week 14, and now with 15, 3 game weeks in 8 days, I think it's just bound to have some rotation. If you enjoy the content and want to see more, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And now let's go and see how we will manage our free hit situation. Speaking about managing your team, let's give a special shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Futtium. Futtium is a football management game where you own your own club and you go and compete against other real managers in a promotion and a relegation league system. Since the last time I spoke to you, I've played a full season myself, and oh boy, it was a challenge. I managed to get a promotion by the end of the season. Yes, I finished second, but it was enough to gain promotion. It was a challenge all along. Up until almost the last game, I felt pressured about the team in third, and I had to push at the end of the season to clinch that promotion. It only took me 5 minutes per day to set up my team and then to analyze the situation, but at the end of the day it was more than enough to get promoted into the next division. Now that I'm in Division 7, I have to restructure and to strengthen my team. This is the team that got me promoted into Division 8, but I'm going to utilize all the features of the game. I'm going to go and sign someone from the academy. During the mid-season, the academy is going to be replaced with free agents, so I have to be careful with those players as well coming in my team. There is a transfer window where you can buy literally out of hundreds and thousands of players based on price, position, age, everything that you want. But at the end of the day, the tactics is that what matters the most. And then I have to go and restructure the team completely once again, because the team that got me promoted probably isn't going to be enough to keep me up in that level and push for another promotion for a second season in a row. If all of these things sounds exciting for you, don't forget to follow the links down in the description and start managing your own club. Of course, speaking about managing it, we need to take a look at the fixtures, and fixtures look as it follows. We start on Saturday with 2:30 p.m. for me. It's 12:30 p.m. for all the English residents. With Aston Villa Arsenal, a nice interesting fixture to begin the week with, and United and Wolves close down the fixtures. How I'm going to approach this week? Manchester City vs Sunderland is going to be a fixture which I target. Newcastle Burnley is going to be a fixture which I target. United players I'm going to get because I think it's okay to have them in that fixture. Brighton player here might be a great shout. Liverpool assets, yes, I would say against Leeds. So yeah, probably City, Newcastle, Liverpool, United, possibly Chelsea. With the performance Bournemouth have been dropping, it's been a stinker, but probably not ideal. And I want to have some okay players from Arsenal, probably maybe Thiago from Brentford if we don't have a forward line, but I think I have already 3 forwards in mind. Brighton, as I already mentioned. So yeah, let's go and start building. And of course, the captain for this week is going to be none other than Erling Haaland. For me, it's a nice addition to the team. Captaincy option, you're not gaining a lot of rank by it, but you're not losing it. And I think that a home fixture is not a place to start experimenting. So yeah, I think that Manchester City at home is a nice fixture for Erling as a captain. Let's finalize our City players, because Phil Foden, with the form that he has been in, oh my god, yeah, it's been amazing, honestly. 8.1, yeah, 8.2, sorry, I got him from before. You're paying a lot of money, but at the end of the day, I think it's completely worth it. I just don't see a reason why you shouldn't be getting Foden in. And yes, City have conceded a lot, but I think their defenders are still interesting to get. Of course, there are several options. First of all, Mateus Nunes or O'Reilly. One of the two. O'Reilly is still cheaper and has a lot of expected goal involvements up front, so it's going to be O'Reilly for that fixture. This is the trifecta from City that I will be going for if I was on a free hit. Now, looking next into the Newcastle-Burnley game, Burnley are conceding a lot of goals from forwards, so Votemare is immediately an option. What I found interesting is that Bruno G here got a rest. A slight rest, only 45 minutes played, but once again returned with a goal. It was not a very expected goal, but he still scored. So, deliberating what to do, how to do it, probably I'm going to opt here for someone in midfield, because midfielders are harder to get by, and I think that a cheap option as Bruno G is ideal. And in defense, Thiago is 5 million, Burn is 5.1, Livramento is 4.9, Ho is 5.2, so it's going to be Livramento. I think the backline for them is going to be solidified. He's getting some interesting performances. I don't know if he's going to be rested, but probably he is going to be rested in UCL. So for now, I'm adding Livramento as my second Newcastle player, and I think here we can leave it as a rest. Next up, looking at the Brighton team and the Liverpool team, I think here we can take some players in. Of course, Arsenal defender is also something that I might exploit. So here what I will do is probably get Alisson in goal. So it's Becker. I'm going to just select him over for Leeds. He hasn't still played against Sunderland, but Alisson Becker here for me. It makes sense, and this will allow me to get Timber. Of course, you can do it the other way around. You can go for Raya and VVG, but I prefer to have that trifecta here. We haven't yet put any players from Brighton, and depending on minutes, of course, there are two options. One of them is Minte. Minte is a solid option, a very, very solid shout. The other, because he has been returning like okay numbers, the other option is the penalty taker of Danny Welbeck. It's a personal choice, and for me it's Danny Welbeck. 6.6, I think it's a nice midfielder to have. And of course, finalizing the front line here, we haven't decided yet on it, but yeah, next up I want to get some United players in, and here it's going to be Bruno Fernandes, none other. I think that's a nice addition to the side. And of course, a Liverpool attacker, for me it's needed here. I think that Cody Gakpo might be an interesting shout against Leeds away. I think that it's a nice addition to add in the side. Gakpo has not been performing particularly well so far, but still he has 4 goals and 3 assists, which is okay-ish. Not ideal, but okay-ish in all sense. And he has been playing regular minutes apart from that City game where Liverpool struggled, and after that it was all 90 minutes. So Gakpo to finalize the squad here. And now we are left to pick one more forward. Of course, we can easily select Votemare. I complete the trifecta here from forwards, but what I will do is not get him. I'll get Thiago. Spurs are awful in defending. For me, that is an ideal front 3 to have, with 1, 2, 3 penalty takers, 4 with Bruno. Of course, you can go with Gordon over Bruno G as a penalty taker, but I don't know if Bruno G Gordon is going to start. And yeah, you have 4 penalty takers. Then you have Foden, that's in amazing form, Gakpo that has been playing alright, and Bruno G with an amazing performance also. And basically that's going to be the starting lineup for my free hit draft. Is a 3-4-3 draft, and I think it looks okay. Now, the thing I mentioned to you already is that I want to have some coverage, and what a better coverage is than a nailed 4-point player with Everton away. I think it's a nice addition to have in the side. Elliot Anderson here will just be a coverage for our team. Looking defensively where we can invest some money and where we can add is someone from Brighton. I'm going for Van Hecke here. I think that he has been playing regular minutes, getting some clean sheet returns, and he is a nice addition to cover our defensive line. That means that we can freely add a player that is cheaper, like a Steph. He's facing Newcastle, but he's not playing, and we have a lot of money for a backup goalkeeper. I think that the backup goalkeeper here is not something that I will take lightly, because things can happen, and with the budget that we have, of course, we can go for sales. I think against Everton makes sense. He is not that expensive. I think that's an ideal free hit. That free hit cost me around 100 million because I got players in my team such as Anderson, Welbeck, Thiago, Foden that are already in, so we're saving a little bit of money. So here we are saving 0.1, here 0.2, and here nothing. So yeah, I would say that we are basically around the 100 million mark. So everyone is able to enjoy this team. Where this team can be improved, there are a lot of places, but I would say that I liked a lot. I have the triple City that are in a good goal scoring form. O'Reilly, of course, you can bench him for 1kk and keep O'Reilly as an option, but I prefer the Newcastle, Arsenal and City defenses more than the Brighton one. Brighton one is a coverage. Sales is a coverage for Alisson if something happens. Anderson is coverage for any of the attackers if something happens. So it will be Anderson first bench, 1kk second and Steph third. And I think we are in a good position. Already mentioned, Haaland is the captain. And I think we have a nice free hit on our hands. If you enjoy this content, once again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's completely for free. I think that free hit is a nice thing to do this week if you have it. This is of course template. You can improve it. You can do a lot of things with it, but for now, I think we are in a good position. We have the Arsenal coverage, the United, Liverpool, the United, the Newcastle, the Brentford ones, the Brighton one that has been good, and we have a nice backup options based on rotations and rotating players if they don't play. I think Anderson and Van Hecke are nailed 1,000,000%, so we have that amazing coverage. If you want, you can improve even more as Stephen downgrade sales. If Alisson, of course, probably is going to be fit, you can go for someone like Dubravka, save a little bit of money and go for one more expensive defender up here, but that's a completely personal choice. I know Mbeumo is missing from this draft. Maybe Bruno G to Mbeumo makes sense if you sell Thiago to Votemare, but that requires a lot of funds, which I'm not willing to spend because I don't have them. But if you are a richy boy, you can go and do it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, check out Footjump down in the description. As mentioned, they're the sponsors of the video. It's a very fun game and you can go and play it yourself. Of course, more UCL and FPL content will be coming your way, so don't forget to take a look at it. And I will be leaving you soon with more content. I will be coming back soon with more content, but I will be leaving you for now. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.